Hello YouTubers, how you doing? Yours truly back again to post the next video here. Just kind of coming up with some ideas. I was talking to my wife tonight about what I might want to do for my next video, and what we kind of came to the conclusion on is I've been listening to a lot of metal stuff lately. I've just kind of been on a really big metal kick and decided let me kind of dig back into some of my softer side of music, if you will. So I thought what I would do today is just kind of go through part of my 80's collection, my A through L, and just pick out some of my favorites in that category and just kind of show some of my guilty pleasures, if you will, of my 80 albums. So we'll kind of start over here and work our way backwards. I have a few kind of pulled out to the side here. We'll start with Mr. Greg. Remember that great song he had on this album, the breakup song. Great 80's classic. Howard Jones. You know, he had a lot of good songs back in the 80's too. Things Can Only Get Better, No One's to Blame. Very good representation of the cheesy 80's. Good old Elton John. I think this is probably one of my favorite Elton John albums just because it has the song Sacrifice on there, which I think is one of the best songs he ever did. Billy Joel, Innocent Man, of course. Everybody knows about that album. In Excess Kick, definitely a good 80's album, late 80's. And then I have a cover for this one. This is Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax, 12-inch. Let's get up here a little bit. Let's see, we got Don Henley, Boys of Summer. This is his album, Building the Perfect Beast. Another classic 80's song. And got a number of talking heads too, but I just pulled out this one here. Another great 80's group, Remain in the Light. And let's see, we skip over to Peter Gabriel, So, another good album with Sledgehammer and of course In Your Eyes. I think one of his greatest hits ever. A lot of good music on that. And let's see, Tears for Fears, Sowing in the Seeds of Love. I'm not sure this is actually in the 80's. I think this one came out, oh yeah, I guess it was late 89. But this is the one I actually meant to pull out. Tears for Fears, Song from the Big Chair. That's the one I think we know the most with Shout and Head Over Heels. Falco, of course, Can Rock Me Amadeus. Naked Eyes, song Promises, Promises. Definitely one of my favorite 80's songs there. Don't have to say anything about this album. That more than speaks for itself. Duran Duran Rio. And guys who are not synonymous with the 80's. I mean, there's not a single 80's movie you can watch where you're not going to hear the song Whip It in there somewhere. So, gotta give them credit for that. Here's Chris, Into the Light. Has that cheesy song, as a big label says right there. Lady in Red, but I absolutely love it. Also has a good song on here called Say Goodbye to It All. Another good track on that album. And then another one of the kings of the 80's, Mr. Phil Collins. I think that's But Seriously there. We got No Jacket Required. And Hello, I Must Be Going. And of course, Face Value. Between those four, you'll get all the Phil Collins hits you ever wanted. And of course, good old Boy George and Culture Club. You know, we can make fun of that all we want, but I love Culture Club back in the day and still love them today. As strange as old Boy George was. Everybody can Wing Chung tonight. Got their album here, Point on the Curve. And then we got some Cars here. Classic, Heartbeat City. Definitely a classic album. We also got Shake It Up. Another one of those songs that you will hear in every single 80's movie out there. More Cars here. I'm sorry, got the camera down there. And more Cars. And then Mr. Eric Carmen, Best of Eric Carmen. You probably know him best from a couple of songs. He had that song Lose Control, as well as he's the one that did Hungry Eyes from Dirty Dancing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was in the Raspberries before he went 80s cheesy. So I'm glad he did, 'cause he has some good 80s cheesy songs. Fine Young Cannibals, The Raw and the Cook, She Drives Me Crazy. Lead singer, I forgot his name off the top of my head, I believe used to be the lead singer of London Beat, which is also a very good group. And let's skip through some of these again. True, I'm sure everyone remembers this song and this album. B-52s, late 80s, but still in the 80s. This is the Cosmic Thing, which has a song Rome, and is Good Stuff on this? Is a different one. Oh, Love Shack, not Good Stuff, not on this one. And probably as cheesy as it possibly gets from the 80s, but you know what, it's definitely one of my guilty pleasures. Rick Astley here has that song, that Never Gonna Give You Up. You know, as cheesy as it is, I love that song and listen to it quite often, so I apologize to all you metalheads that are about to throw up right about now. Alpha Bill, Forever Young, another very good 80s song. Aha, of course they had the big hit Take On Me. Bryan Adams, Reckless. This is a very good album too. This is one album I think really did not get the credit that it deserved. Once again, you can say Bryan Adams is cheesy and everything else, but when you really look at this track list, I mean, you're talking about, Run to You, Heaven, Somebody, Summer of '69, It's Only Love. I mean, those are some pretty big hits back in the day, so this is definitely one of his killer albums. And the last one I'll share is 38 Special. This is their rock and roll strategy. This is, okay album, fairly decent, but this does have one of my favorite 38 Special songs on it, which is Second Chance. Kind of one of those cheesy breakup songs, how they had a lot of those back in the 80s, but at the same time, it's probably one of the best breakup songs I've ever heard, so it stays in my cheesy 80s collection. I listen to it quite often, actually. It's a really good song. So, that's a few pieces out of my 80s A through L section, and as always, give me a little bit and I will go through and post some more from some different sections. And thanks again for watching, guys.